Hello everybody and welcome back to Broken Berean. And it's been a while since I talked about censorship, and I think the last one was when Canada said that all podcasts had to register with the government for verification and quality of content. And so here's what's going on. The United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women has sent a memo requesting censorship of Japanese media. Specifically, the concerns were pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may incite violence against women, girls based on gender or sexual orientation. Now we're going to unpack a lot here. This isn't the first time the UN has sent something like this to Japan. It does not send these type of things to any other country. I mean, seriously, if they're sending one to Japan, they should be sending one to the United States. For sure. And to me, what this comes down to is a lot of things converging and navigating what this is. First and foremost, this is art in various media. And my assumption, I'm going to assume that when they said the first word, they're referring to a specific type of animated product, because that's what seems to be the focus here, is anime, manga, animation, and all that. And let me tell you, if you think Japan is the biggest producer of objectionable content, I guarantee you, you're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong. They may be up there, but I think what's being done in the United States is probably worse. But I could be wrong. I don't look into these things. But it comes down to censorship. The UN is telling an entire country they have to censor their art and their products. I don't like that. I don't. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they should be making adult content, but they do. I don't think anyone should, but they do. But here's the bigger thing than just the UN saying Japan needs to censor its artwork. Japan has regulatory boards for all these media, like we do here in the States. You got the ERSB for video games, you got the MPAA for movies, and other organizations for other media that rate and decide how to put any type of warning label, age restriction on any type of media, music, movies, whatever. We have regulatory committees for that. So does Japan. And this is crazy because this is a social science conclusion, because there's no direct correlation from what they're stating to proven outcome. This could lead not does, could lead. And a lot of things could lead to a lot of different things. And Japan regulates their stuff. And especially when it comes to things that are released out into the public through official channels and not like independent people and stuff like that, it's heavily regulated. Like, it has to be okayed. Just like, here in the States. But if like an independent person or artist produce their own content and put it on some other platform to distribute, sell, whatever, that's kind of free. That's independent artists, but anything mainstream is very regulated and very watched over and governed. Japan's very good about this. They really are. Just like we in the States try to be. So it's kind of like if they sent us here in the States the same thing, there would be massive pushback. You have to censor your movies and your animation and things like that. It's putting it's dictating to a culture how they have to be in their culture. So that's really a lot of overreach, and that scares me, because who's the UN going to say to what country next what they have to do culturally? This isn't like, oh, they're starting wars, oh, they're doing this, or they're doing things that are hurting people, or attacking other countries, or damaging other countries, or doing something like that, anything like that. This is to do with the culture and art culture of Japan. I mean, seriously, send one of these to Stephen King. Yeah, I mean, come on. And the reason behind this, I don't get. I just think that it's become so popular now because anime outsells comic books by tenfold here in the States now. Because, honestly, you get better stories, better art from other countries that aren't being bombarded of being told how they have to do things and how they have to include things. They want to do it their way, and they do it their way. And when the artists are left to do what they want, we get amazing products. And some of the best science fiction movies I've watched in the past 4 or 5 years have come from Spain and Korea. Not the States. Spain and Korea. Some of the best science fiction stuff. Seriously. Just incredible. It's like, wow. Really good. I mean, they've got huge science fiction stuff going on there, and it's great. It's sometimes you'll see it pop up on Netflix. They do import them, and they're never dubbed, so you have to learn to read subtitles. But they're incredibly well done science fiction movies, and it's like, wow, why can't we get this in this? Oh yeah, you're watching it like, oh, they would say this has to be done this way, and this has to be done this way, and so, boom, we're censored, and there's no way this is right, because there is no direct connection. There's not even a correlation. It's just these things being seen may incite. And here's the thing. When it comes to anime, I want to say anime. When it comes to manga, it is probably the most diverse medium out there. Pick a topic. There's a manga for it. They've got, I can't remember, they break it down into like 40 categories, main categories of manga, and those will all have like 10 to 20 subcategories. So, I mean, there are romance. There's also LGBTQ romance stuff, and there's furry romance. I mean, all that stuff that the left and all these progressive really like, they've got it in manga. It's there. It exists. Anything you can think of. A lot of it's anything that you, seriously, it is the most widely diverse medium in existence. Because in through it, you get historical, you get fictional, you get nonfiction, you get fantasy, sci-fi, just every possible, sports. There's a whole genre just on sports alone. And they're huge and they're fantastic. Haikaku? I forget. It's the one about volleyball. My daughter started reading the manga and they made an anime of it, and I started watching it with her. It was really well done. I was like, this is awesome. And I don't even like volleyball. I was like, this is really good. And I don't like volleyball. It's like one of those, like, you know, I mean, I'd probably say I watch more volleyball in the anime than I have in the real world in my entire life. Hands down, easily. And so there's so much vastness in these medium, but don't worry, this is the second time the UN has done this, and right here, it's not loading. I don't know why it's not loading, but there's a link here to Yamada Taro. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Who is a political figure in Japan who has a stance against censorship, and basically he says, don't tell us what to do, we're already taking care of it, and stop pushing your culture and your views onto us. And that's basically his tweet. It's basically, he's done several others, but this really is his tweet translated. And yeah, the UN wants to censor the largest growing mediums in the world right now. It is. More people are buying manga and watching anime than any other two mediums out there. They are. It's just fact. You compare manga to comic books, it's not even a close competition. You compare anime to a streaming TV show, you're not going to like the outcome. Depending on the genre, it's close. Anime usually wins out for most. Not all. But the numbers are incredible. Because they take... Anime isn't just like what you see right here. Dragon Ball Super. I mean, seriously. Science fiction, historical, war. I mean, any topic that you can think of. Boom, it's there. And it is just overstepping the bounds of the UN to tell a country that already regulates these mediums within themselves to do more because they don't like it. That's what it comes down to. They don't like it, or they don't understand it, or they don't know how to control it. It's something along that line. I really do think it is. And believe me, you know, whatever Japan's doing, we're doing here in the States too, I'm probably sure. Yeah. It's called Rule 34. It's been around since, I don't know, the 90s. And if you think whatever Japan's doing is bad, whatever's going on here in the States is worse. So, I don't like it. I think the UN is overstepping their bounds when they should be addressing the countries that are truly harming women and children by their in-life policies. You should address that in art. That's my opinion. I don't want to. I'm not saying all the stuff that they're making should be made. Do not conflate that with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is censorship from an outside source should not be done. Censorship within Japan, regulating it like it is what's supposed to happen. It happens here in the States. It happens in other countries. Other countries have many things like this. It's not like it's, oh, they can make whatever they want and put it out to anybody. They can't make the most graphic things in the world and put it out towards children. They don't do that. They're very strict, and their guidelines are not something to be messed around with. Fines and jail time have been handed out for violating the regulatory committees in Japan. artists have been jailed and companies have been severely fined for violating the rules. So we don't have to worry about that. There's something already in place. So the UN just needs to take a step back and realize this is something new that they don't understand. And yeah, they need to focus on things that can be shown right now in other countries that are truly harming women and children. And they're not doing that, and we know why. So, just want you to know, because when it starts one place, it spreads to another. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one here in the States, something similar. Like, oh no, that wouldn't happen here. They're doing it to Japan. They're going to do it to another country. It's almost a guarantee. So, until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.